Welcome, everybody, to the Exes podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Therese.
And we are the Exes, and we got special guests with us. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, please share this, like it, join the page, all of that stuff. The purpose of this show, we have a couple of purposes. We started this show to prove that just because you're Exes doesn't mean that everything is bad. There's still a lot of great things, including friendships. And Therese has always been one of my best friends in the world. And the way our relationship went, it didn't ruin that. That's important. Life is too short to throw away relationships. Life is too short to throw away good stuff. So you keep the good stuff, and the stuff that's not working, you do something different. But as always, so happy to be here with Therese. We've also done shows on crime. We're not going to stop doing that. There's been a little less serial killing going on, so we need to step it up. You guys got to step it out there, step it up, so we can have things to talk about. Still following the Vallow Daybell, and of course, apparently the Murdoch thing. We're still going to have more to talk about on that, but we certainly will cover crimes. If you got any crimes you'd like us to cover, please let us know. Including, we did cover on one episode the Lost Boys of Pickering, which is where Mary Kay is joining us from.
You did. That's right.
She has been exonerated from that crime, but it still happened in the town. Mary Kay, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thanks for having me here today, guys.
Always good to have you. Of course, you and I have our show, The Life Between All or Nothing, on Thursday night.
Tomorrow, yep.
And we have a special purpose for having everybody here, and we'll explain that in a minute. Also joining us, and this is somebody who I've just come to know in the last couple of months because she's been on my Tuesday night show with Lynn Serrano, the Scott and Lynn show, and she has been joining us there. It's been such a pleasure. She's joined Mary Kay and I, and now she's with Therese and I on the Exes. Kellen and Kellen, thanks for being here.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
But as soon as the show started, my dog started barking.
Oh,
Of course.
Every show.
that's okay.
But,
we're good.
We're happy to have you here. All of you guys, now Therese and I, of course, obviously, we understand that we're both, not in relationships now because, we did that.
We did that. We're done with that.
We did that.
They're done that.
The world goes on, and we're both trying to figure out what we're doing our personal selves, and I'm not going to talk out of turn because I know we've talked about it, Mary Kay and Kellen. You guys are both single as well, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to have three wonderful, intelligent, powerful, beautiful women on a show to ask them questions that guys want to know about single women and about relationships. And I want to be brutally honest and just go right at it. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
For it.
I'm in. Let's do it.
First of all, wait a minute. We got a comment here.
First of all,
Sandy is with us. Everybody
Sandy
knows
Mom.
Sandy's
Hi, Mom.
Sandy Mom is with us, and she's saying hi, kids. So all of us tonight are kids.
So cute.
love that.
Sometimes Teresa and I, we could not want to do anything, but we're just like, well, let's go down to Mom's house because just to hear her say hi, kids, made us feel better every day. Because you didn't feel it. I get up, my back hurts, my legs hurt, my butt hurt, everything hurts, and she'd say kids, and I'd feel young again. So it was nice. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Thanks for joining us. All right, well, let's start with the first thing. And be honest, have you all tried dating apps? Let's start with Therese. Yeah. Have you tried the dating apps?
Yes.
Yes.
I do not. Yes, I don't care for them.
Don't care for them. Mary Kay?
Yes, I'm on them right now. Not right this minute, but I'm. My profile is up on one of them right now. Yes.
All right. And Kellen, how about you?
I've removed myself from all of them.
Debbie Bettendorf is with us.
Oh my God. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Now, Teresa, I know you don't like them because when we talk, you tell me it's just like you hate it. But have you removed yourself yet, or are you still out there?
No, I removed myself. Well, I think I paused myself, but I'm kind of on permanent pause.
Permanent pause.
Permanent pause. I can't remember if I'm paused or actually deleted, but I'm gone.
Now,
I don't know. Search. Try to find me.
What is
Scott, are you on the dating apps?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not. No, I actually did that once, and I had it was horrible, and I won't do it again.
Oh,
I'm one of those people.
It's terrible.
I truly believe that if you don't find people in the course of the things that you like to do, it's like me going to a singles bar to meet a woman would be stupid because I don't drink and I don't hang out in bars. Why would I meet somebody there?
Right.
And I'm not a huge fan of being online on the internet. I like playing games. I like watching, like streaming and stuff, but actually surfing the net and doing that, I'm really not a fan. So why would I do that? But I got to ask Therese, what is it about the online dating that bothers you?
I feel like men get very aggressive when they're behind a computer screen or keyboard. And so they
wait, what do you mean by aggressive? What do you mean by aggressive?
They want to go all in right away. Like, can you meet me at 10 o'clock tonight? No. I am no. Not meeting up with someone I do not know at 10 o'clock at night. No. I don't know. It's just, and I find here anyway, or for whatever, I had 60 miles or something is my thing. They all seem to be, especially in this age group, they all seem to be like the same person.
With 24 different profiles.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wait, weren't you white yesterday? I don't understand.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So you're not seeing a lot of honesty either in these things, are you, Therese?
No, I don't think so. No. And I told you about the last guy, right?
Well, tell the story about that.
Tell
That's
us.
interesting.
We were talking for, I don't know, back and forth for 3 or 4 days, which fine. And it turns out he lives just one neighborhood, like one street over.
Now, when you say talking, you mean like using the chat?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
chatting.
Using the chat. Yeah. And then he said, something like, well, we should meet up. Or I said, yeah, that's fine. I mean, we could go for coffee, we could go for an ice cream. It was still warm out. And there's places within a mile of where we both live, right?
Wow.
So then he says, well, I'd rather have your phone number first so I could talk to you for security purposes. I don't know, something like I got to be careful or something. And I'm like, yeah, okay. No, you are 5 years older than me. I'm a female. You're a male. We're going to meet somewhere a mile away from our homes. What security do you need? So my daughter is like, well, he probably wanted to FaceTime you to see what you look like and see if it's worth it. And I'm like, well, he can take the half an hour to see if it's worth it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like a big investment, right? A $5 coffee. I mean, really.
Yeah. All I need is a picture of you holding today's paper, or at least an iPhone 14 or something, and then a blood test. You can send it to my house. No, it's a little ridiculous, and I mean the small experience I had with it was just there was nothing genuine about any of it that I found. I didn't see any of it to be genuine. Now, Kellen, you cut them out. Why did you cut it out? Did you have bad experiences? Or
I'm just tired. I mean, it's like Therese said, there's so many liars on there. And at a certain age, when you're a woman, there's only a certain pool available to you.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, they're like in their 40s, which is there's like 15, 17 years difference, which is, I'm not comfortable with that. And then like, okay, so I was on Tinder. This is so funny. I was talking to this one guy and he said he wanted to get off of the dating sites and just talk to each other because he didn't like swipe culture. I'm like, well, that sounds refreshing, right?
Right.
So we're talking and then we went on 3 dates and then all of a sudden, like I wasn't hearing from him. So I went on Tinder. 10 minutes it took me to find him. He went back on Tinder. In that 10 minutes, 3 guys messaged me. And so I thought, what the heck? He's cheating, And by the way, the guy that I found on Tinder was mad at me because he saw me on Tinder and said, I thought we weren't going to be on the dating sites anymore. He yelled at me.
Oh, no.
That's so weird. But you weren't even together.
What was he doing on there?
He's still a stranger. What the heck?
So I was talking to one and then we decided to meet. He said he was 5'9". He, and I don't really care about the height thing, but when I got there, he couldn't have been 5'6". Okay, I mean, his nose came to my chin, and I was like, you know what? I go, I'm okay with somebody who's not as tall as I am, but I go, you must lack some self-confidence because you couldn't tell me the truth in your height. And I walked out. I'm like, I'm not even wasting my time anymore because there's a ton of this is my last story. I have 100 of them. But this other one, this guy, his name was Tad. And we went on a date and it was a great date, but then I never heard from him again. Like totally ghosted me. And maybe because I didn't put out, I don't know. So I don't know if you guys get like, you go on the dating sites, you get mad, you take yourself off, and then you get bored again, and then you go back on them. So it was one of those things where I was back on it, and I found the same guy with a different name.
Oh,
yeah, not a.
Wait a minute. This guy lied about his name, and he chose the name Tad.
Yes.
Oh my God! First of all, he's got bad taste.
I know.
Yeah.
The name Tad. Come on.
I even said to him when we were having dinner, I go, "You don't look like a Tad." Oh, he wasn't.
Oh my God.
My mom was saying, Therese,
Right.
This guy that you were talking to might have been married.
It's true because if they won't text you after a certain time of night, if they won't call you, it's usually because
he wanted to call. He didn't want to meet. That's the problem.
I didn't want to give him my phone number. Yeah, I didn't want to give him my phone number yet because it was too soon. And if you're talking security for yourself, like giving you my phone number, you can do a lot with a phone number. You can look up all your address, no. I was like, no, that's too soon. But yeah, he may have been.
So I just got tired. That's why I removed myself. I'm like, I'm tired. When I waited to date after, I've been separated for 11 years and I took care of my daughter. I did not date during her high school years. When I moved here to Georgia, I'm like, yes, I'm going to date and it's going to be so much fun. And I'm not having fun.
Therese, Debbie's saying that your daughters give you the deets just like her daughters. They keep us up. Our kids keep us up on what's going on in the world. For sure. And he also, Debbie also added, he was
I love it. Oh my God.
I love it.
Wait a minute, let's see. Debbie says, well, hey, what about Scott and Kellyanne, matchmaker? Kellyanne.
Wait, let's do this.
You know what? Yeah.
Does it happen? Yeah, look at it. Hearts.
Oh, hey.
I didn't get hearts.
She doesn't know how it happened.
I don't know how I'm doing this, but it happened.
What the heck?
I know. Do it again.
Look, there goes my thumb.
Oh, look at that. She got a thumbs up.
Oh,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh, I got to figure that out.
Me too.
My hands are so chubby, I look like I'm making a pomegranate. It's not even a heart.
I wonder if it's a sign.
So,
look at that.
Mary Kay, how is it going for you on that
training
site?
Yeah, let's talk about you, Mary Kay, because
how's it going? Well, it's interesting. It's fun. It's something, I don't know. I get entertained out of it. So the ones that I can actually talk to, that's great. But the ones that turn into some weird conversations of like, let's go out at 10 o'clock now. I get entertained by it. Now, I think, I don't know, the way I look at it is I'm a good person. I'm not evil, right? I'm a self-aware, compassionate kind of person. And so there's got to be other self-compassionate, self-aware people on the app too. Like that's the way I look at it. Like they're not all crazy. Just like all women are not crazy, all men are not crazy. And I think, so for me, one thing is that I don't lie about my age. I put my actual age on there, my actual birth date. I'm 56 and that's it. And because I'm in that age bracket, I think, Kellyanne, like you said, you get a smaller pool of people because people are looking for, most guys on there looking for something younger, someone younger, 50, like 49 or something to 49 is the rate. So my friends are saying, you need to change your age. Like you could totally pass for 49, put 49 on there. And I'm like, but why? That's a lie.
I know.
I'd be lying. And I don't like lying. And I know the height thing too. So I'm 5'2", so really anybody's tall to me. But I've had cases where I've met somebody for coffee and yeah, they're my height. Even though they said they were 5'11". Like,
Yeah.
would I not notice? Would I not notice? And it's funny, one of my friends, Karen, I don't know if she's watching tonight, but she had gone on a date, same kind of thing, and this guy pulls up in this big old Cadillac, and she said it looked like like a kid driving their dad's Cadillac. So she said the guy gets out of the car and he's clearly like 5'3", and she's like, "Oh, did you want me to get you a booster seat for the restaurant?"
Wow.
And they still had the date. So they had a laugh about his height and how he lied about it. And they still went out. They had their coffee at this restaurant and, had some laughs. And that was it. Like, that was the last time. But I find a lot on the...
Lying. I can understand lying about your bank account or lying about something. Or
but about your height.
Even your name. But how do you lie about something? The minute they meet you, it's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what do you
so
say?
weird.
I was 5'10" when I left the house. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have a list of qualifying questions, or did you have a list of qualifying questions? Like before
not
you
really.
Oh, you would not.
Not really qualifying. So I had you did what?
I had a list. I have a whole list of questions. Have you had a felony? Do you still live with your ex-wife? Do you still live with your girlfriend? You know, you think I'm joking? I've had guys, text me for 3 or 4 weeks and say, "Oh, by the way, I live with my ex-wife."
Yeah, I've had that too.
Okay.
You're non-negotiable.
That's it.
Non-negotiables.
Yeah.
So I even have it in my profile that this is what I'm looking for. And I don't have a lot of requirements, but I say I'm looking for a guy with great socks. And Scott, you've heard me say that before, right? Great socks. So the S stands for self-aware. O is optimistic. C is compassionate. K is for kindness. And S is the last S in socks is for somewhat spiritual, not totally over the deep end, new age kind of thing, but somewhat spiritual. And I find if somebody has those qualities, then everything else is going to fall into place. Like they'll be ready to build a foundation and build a relationship. So those are my qualifiers up front. And then everything else kind of gets filtered through the conversations. Like by the third conversation or meetup, that if they're living with their ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend, that's happened too.
Or current wife.
Yeah, because if they're still living there, it's probably not an ex.
My favorite is when they say, "Well, my wife says it's okay if I have sex with other women."
Yeah.
Said no,
and you know
wife
what?
ever.
No, you know what? I do know a couple who's okay with that.
I have a note from my wife. Okay, it's notarized.
But there are lifestyles like that, and people are okay with that kind of thing. But it's not me, right? I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the traditional.
There's no chance for a relationship if he has a wife and he's just going out on her, and it's okay. Then there's no longevity.
Listen,
right?
I've obviously not mastered the art of making one woman happy. What the fuck am I going to do with two? You know, what am I going to do? Wait a minute. Scott got his permission slip signed.
Laminate it.
So the dating online is a kind of a crapshoot, and you can enjoy the gamble, you can enjoy the fun of it. So what do you do? Let's put ourselves in a position of what's a safe place to approach somebody, other than a bar, because most people don't go to bars anymore. A lot of people don't, especially people our ages. So where is it that you want them to approach you? While you're at the supermarket, while you're in the mall?
I tried Home Depot.
On the way to a
Home Depot,
office?
yes.
I mean,
yes.
Home Depot?
Because then at least you can fix things at my house.
Have you met some of the people in Home Depot?
No.
These people walk around.
Now all the wives go with the husbands. Probably because of girls like me.
That's good. Oh my God.
I said that out loud, didn't I?
That's so funny.
So Therese, where do you want? I mean, how would you like somebody to approach you, and where? I mean, that's a question guys want to know because they see a woman. Maybe they're walking down the street, and you want to walk up. This isn't the old days, like, "Hey, babe, let me get your number," because you got Mr. Microphone. It's not the old days. How do you approach somebody, or how do you want to be approached, Therese?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, you know, a grocery store. If I'm out shopping, I was out to the restaurant with the girls the other night. If there was somebody that wanted to say hello, I wouldn't mind that. At work, no, because somebody tried that and that was very awkward.
Now, Therese works in a medical office. That's not an appropriate place.
It's not an appropriate place. No, I had to tell him, no, that's, you know, you're a patient. That's not allowed. But
wait. You never want to date somebody who you have access to their medical charts. It's just, too icky. It's too icky.
It is icky. And he was being a little persistent. And so I looked at his age and I'm like, oh, you're far too young for me anyway. Like, he was 43. I'm like, no, that's a no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, even if I'm out with the kids or, because that's really all I ever do. But if I'm in a restaurant or Starbucks or, you know, yeah, that's fine. Somebody wants to say hello. I don't want you to say hello. Can I have your number? Just, you know, strike up a conversation. Hello, how are you? What's your name?
Yeah, I know, but that's an awkward thing. And, you know, the pickup lines are so passe. You don't use those anymore. You know, it's not like the old days where you walk up and you spit on her and you say, "Hey, let's get you out of those wet clothes." You can't do that anymore. It's not appropriate.
Hey, no, what's your sign?
Yeah, what's your sign? What's your sign?
Stop.
I don't even know what that means. But you know, really, if they walked up, and Therese, they walk up and they say, you know, "Hi, I'm sorry, I couldn't notice that you're beautiful, and I'd really like to talk to you. Is that okay?" I mean, is that too much? Is that over the top? Should they compliment you to get you to talk to them? Should they? I just don't know. I mean, that's what I'm asking. All the guys out there are listening. They're taking notes.
For me, that might be a little too much.
All right.
Because I have a problem with taking compliments. So for me, I would kind of probably shut down. I'd probably be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if you say, "Hi, my name's Bill, you know, what's your name? How's the apples look today?" I don't know. You know, some kind of general question.
And let's hope you're in a grocery store when you ask that question. Because if you're waiting for the bus, that ain't a good question.
No, that's probably not a good question.
What about you, Mary Kay? Where do you want to be approached, or what's a way that you would be comfortable in being approached? Because there's a lot of uncomfortability out there now. So what would you like?
So I think definitely the mall, like a public place. I have no issue with someone coming up to me and saying hi, except for a parking lot. Don't come up to me in a parking lot because I'm gonna be like, keep your distance, dude. Because parking lots have been known to be dangerous for women. Mm-hmm. So not a parking lot. Don't do it in a parking lot. But in the grocery store, yeah.
I think Therese carries mace, so the parking lot is out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any public venue, really.
Yeah, but be friendly. Like, don't be creepy. Just come up and say hi. I noticed you and I wanted to say hi. And we'll have a conversation. And maybe at the end of that quick conversation, if you ask me for your number, I might give it. I don't know. We'll see. Well, but at least let's say hi.
Between you and Therese, I'm getting a common thread that's already impossible for guys. You want sincerity. All right, so let's
sincerity. Yeah.
Yes.
Kellen, where would you be comfortable being approached, and how would you like somebody to speak to you when they notice you?
I think as long as it was genuine, I wouldn't care as long as it's not the women's room, you know?
Like the bathroom?
That's a good point.
Don't follow Kellen into the bathroom.
Don't
follow me into the bathroom. Okay?
You don't want to go to
God.
the next stall.
You know,
Oh my
I don't go out. I
God.
hardly go out. I work from home. I go to the post office or UPS to drop off my orders. I don't go grocery shopping. I haven't gone since before COVID, so I'm not
Oh,
going to meet
wow.
somebody at the grocery store. But I am such a recluse. I keep hoping that some hot UPS man's going to show up at my door.
So I think you touched on a point there. Like, I think we need to get out more because
Yes, I do.
it maximizes or increases your chances of
So
being
I'm
approached.
I'm doing things. So I joined an improv. I'm learning improv. So I thought I'll be out there. Okay. And I joined a diving group because I like scuba diving here in I went to the two of the first meetings. Everyone had a couple. Everyone was a couple.
Oh.
I'm like, that's the worst luck. But no, I am trying to do more things. And like I said, if there was a chance that I was at a grocery store, or I do go to Home Depot a lot. And if somebody were that interested and genuinely wanted to, meet me, I'd say hi back.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. What is I want to.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just spit it out. Spit it out.
Yeah, no. People either overdo it on a first date or they really underdo it on a first date. What is the appropriate first date venue? To me, it's always been coffee, go for a walk, go to a park. Down here it's easy, maybe sit on the beach or something. But not inexpensive. I think, first of all, going to a movie on a first date is the dumbest thing you could do. Because you sit next to a stranger for 2 hours and you're not allowed to talk to them. Okay. But what do you guys think? Therese, what do you think of first date, especially with somebody that you're just meeting and they want to take you out? What is a comfortable thing now?
Something short and sweet, like a coffee or like an ice cream. Yeah.
Oh, so it should be shorter too, and just like maybe an hour or so.
Yeah, just like something simple, just a quick little meetup. I mean, if you like each other and your conversation's going good, you can always extend that, right? You can always find somewhere to take a walk, or you can order a little bit more food with your coffee. You can always extend it. But for me, it's got to be short and sweet, so I can get in, get out if I want.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's like, make sure that there's a rear entrance to the coffee shop. So you can excuse yourself to go to the bathroom and just like vanish. Mary, what about you? What's an appropriate first date for you that you would really just like?
Yeah. So coffee at a coffee shop or a walk by the lake with coffee, and we each bring our own coffees or tea or whatever. I do like the walk and talk, and because some people have asked me, "Oh, do you want me to pick up your coffee for you?" And I'm like, no, you're a stranger. I'm certainly not going to have you buy my coffee for me because what if he's a psycho, right? And he puts something in my coffee, and I know that's
Roofie.
a roofie or whatever. So yeah, bring your own coffee, go for a walk by the lake. That's my absolute favorite, even in winter. So I'm happy to be doing that in the winter too.
Oh no, I don't like winter.
I love winter.
Unless they lied about their height, and next thing you know, Peter Dinklage shows up, and he can't keep up with you while you're walking, and then that's a problem. But beyond that
might be a problem.
Cool. Kellen, how about you? First date, what would you really like?
Well, I'm going to tell you the best first date I had was with that guy Tad. We met and went to Italian restaurant, because I have no problem if I'm not connecting or clicking. I'll just say thank you, goodbye, and go. I mean, I don't have any problem leaving a bad date. We had the best dinner. We didn't want it to end, and then we ended up going to a park and playing catch.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you think maybe being lighthearted with things like that is a little bit? Sometimes it's a little too serious. Maybe doing things that are a little more lighthearted and childlike, it could be more fun, right?
Yeah. Well, he goes, "You want to go to the batting cages?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love going to the batting cages." I'm like, "Did you read my mind?" And then then I'm like, no, I go. And then, so actually we went to a Quickie Mart, he bought 2 cans of beer, went inside, got 2 cans of beer. He texted me from inside and says, hey, do you want some Marlboros? You know, because it was just so funny that we were going to get 2 beers, sit in my car and play catch. I mean, it was very simple, but very fun.
Well, I got to say that Therese and I, when we dated when we were kids, and then when we got back together, our first date, we went to a restaurant, had something to eat, and then we went over to a mall and just walked around the mall for like 2 hours almost.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, part of it was because it was great conversation. The other part of it is we both realized we love laughing at other people, and there's so many crazy people in the malls in Syracuse, New York. We had a plethora of things to entertain us.
Plus, it was winter. It was winter out, so I wasn't walking outside. We were across the street from a lake, but I wasn't walking over there.
And I wasn't walking outside.
I love it.
I wanted to be cool, and I wore my motorcycle boots, which are not good in the winter
for walking.
For walking or standing or anything.
Or walking.
Yeah.
But I looked cool. I wanted to look cool. I was trying to impress her. But once we went to the mall, it was like the most fun because they actually had one of those gaming shops, and we could see the Dungeons and Dragon players through the window. Oh, that was just wow! It was like being at the zoo. You don't touch them; you just look at them for a little while.
Oh my god!
Well, he brought me flowers too, like just a little, not a big fancy.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
You went to all that trouble to be fake.
Yeah, right. I know, really.
Who does all that? I mean, I would love someone to be romantic and show up with a flower, or not a corny rose, but even pick some weeds on the way in, just some kind of effort, because the dating culture right now is not. They don't put much effort into it. I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's just.
But now that you said that,
somebody for 5 weeks or 3 weeks or however long, you get to know that person and you know what they like, and you can. It's I think it's just a show up thing at this point,
I agree. I think you need to feel like a priority.
Yes.
Right?
A choice, not an option.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah. But now that you mention that, the next guy who shows up, his name will probably be Todd instead of Dad.
Yeah,
and
he'll
have a bag of weed with him because he said, "Didn't you want me to grab some weed on the way?"
Some weed.
Oh God.
Let's see. Sandy Mom is asking, Scott, what is your approach to someone you want to meet? All right, thanks, Mom. Good. Next question.
No. You got to answer.
Yeah, you got to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, I'm lost on the subject. I've got a lot of friends, and obviously, Therese and I, she's always going to be my best friend in the world. And Mary Kay and Kellen, you guys have become, Mary Kay, you're very close, and I love you, and you're a great friend, and Kellen, you too. And I'm meeting more and more people that I'm just creating friends. Well, thank you. You know what? She makes those hearts because of that goddamn improv class. It's called improvisating. Quite honestly, I have been so focused on work and meeting people and just trying to be a better person as being a friend that I'm really not approaching people with any idea of dating anybody right now. I approach people with an idea of I really like to know more people and find out what they're all about and do that. And I'm actually feeling better about it. I think when the time comes, I'll know what to say and how to say it. But right now, quite honestly, I'm kind of clueless. I just kind of show up and I am who I am, and I just try to talk to people. But I have not been in a position in a long time. I mean, it was a while back that I've even thought about. And it seems like the choices I've made since Therese and I split up, because there's been 1 or 2 choices I made that were choices of I think I need to be with somebody and not that I want to be with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And each time, and none of it ever ended up. I mean, I've dated somebody for a period of time, and it was like, hey, you want to spend the night? No, I don't want to do that because I don't really want to do this. I don't want to do all of this, And I actually, I had somebody, I went and visited them, and I slept on the sofa, and it's like, I didn't want to do it. I just felt like I needed to be with somebody, and it's the truth. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm at a point where it's like, whether I'm with somebody or not, I'm still me, and I'm still got to be me and be happy with me. So quite honestly, to answer the question, and it's a long way around the question, I really don't know what I'm going to say when I meet that person who I really want to, it's Kellen, I can't wait to meet you. We're going to have some coffee or lunch or dinner, whatever we're going to do. It's going to be great. And I'm going to meet you as a friend. Can I date somebody in Georgia? No, of course not. Can I date somebody in Toronto? No. It's just, I love the idea of having friends and being close to people.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, I'm not sure I'm ready to I haven't learned a lot of enough about the mistakes I've made yet. I've learned a lot, but I'm not quite all there yet. And I don't want to go in there because I will have the tendency, and Therese will tell you this is true, and I'll be perfectly honest. I get into a relationship. My first job in a relationship is to pretend everything's fine no matter what. Is to try to, oh no, everything's good, everything's fine, and just act as if, because I'm so afraid of people being unhappy. But what happens is people get unhappy because I'm not being real. So right. I don't know that I'm past that point yet, quite honestly. So that's why these questions are kind of interesting to me. One day I might be in a position. What am I going to do? You guys got to write your books for me. Your rule
You'll
books
watch the replay.
I think it's important to ask them if they've ever been alone, because if they've jumped from one relationship to the next and have never been alone, I have asked that question too. I'm like, have you ever been on your own? I mean, because if you don't have to say, have you ever been alone? You just say, oh, tell me about your past, relationships, because I want to find out what went wrong. It's not all the other person, because it takes two people to have a catastrophic relationship, especially like if you're like me and you have no sense of conflict, none, cannot, I will just stay quiet and explode in 18 years, which is what I did with my marriage.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. I learned that about me. Now I speak my mind, or tell my wants, or put up my barriers. But I think it's important to know that they're okay being alone.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Because I wasn't okay being alone. So I was that person that went from relationship to relationship to relationship to marriage to relationship to so I was that person. So I had to take a break. And I was like, I don't know what it's like to be by myself, like completely by myself. I'm single, unattached, not dating, anything. So a couple of years ago, I got rid of all the dating apps, and I just said, okay, the shop is closed. I am not dating until I have healed some of my own shit. And then I'll know when I'm ready. So that's why I'm back on these sites now, because I've done that. Well, almost 3 years actually of a clean break.
That's right about where I am right now. Almost 3 years. I was always the girl that had the boyfriend, the husband, the boyfriend. Yeah. I actually was dating somebody when we met up for the first time that we met, when you came to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He lived 3 hours away, and it was already kind of souring, but.
And by the way, I was still married at that time too. So it's not like either one of us. We weren't pumping the brakes, baby cakes. We were just all in from the beginning. And I think that was something that Therese had to figure out. And I definitely, as soon as Therese, when we split up, the funny thing is like, we're in Florida. She needs to go back to New York. It's like a 2-month process. She moved from the bedroom to the guest room, and actually we realized, like, we still want to be friends, and it's still really cool, and we had some good time there. But when she finally moved out, my daughter was gone. Now her daughter was already over the house. So I'm alone in the house for the first time in 42 years. I'm alone in the house. No children, not a wife, not a girlfriend, nobody, not even a pet. I mean,
you didn't even have a pet then.
Yeah. Now I got Jonesy, which pain in the ass. I got Jonesy a bed, and I put the bed on the sofa, and every time he gets on it, he rolls around in it until he falls off the sofa. My cat is a great cat, just not smart. But that was the scariest thing in the world. And I immediately went into a cold sweat of, what am I going to do? I need to date somebody. I need to see somebody, and I even, I started like scoping. I didn't call anybody. I didn't do it. I'm scoping. Right? I'm like, what am I going to do? And as that started to calm down, I started to realize, this is bad that I can't be okay. It's really bad that I can't be okay, or that I'm this afraid of being alone. I'm not afraid of being alone like somebody's going to come in and hurt me. I'm afraid of being alone because I don't like me. I don't want to hang out with me because I know what a son of a bitch I am. And I had to start changing those things. And now I can't imagine somebody else living with me right now. Now, at one point, certainly I'd like to date. I'd like to do something. But I kind of really like my space. Have you guys got that point where you're like, I really like the fact that, I don't have to go looking for shit. If I put something somewhere, it stays there. Or I just like the way things are. I got my art hung up and I like my space. Are you guys at that point, Therese? Are you kind of there where it's really nice to have your own space?
Absolutely. I don't really want anyone coming in messing up my space. It really kind of irritates me.
So you're not ready to give up a drawer anytime soon?
No, thank you.
Now, I've got a friend of mine here that's actually one of the guys that plays with Gary, my friend Gary, the musician. And he's been dating a girl for, I think they've been dating for 12 or 14 years. They both have their own places. And they spend a lot of time together, you'd think, but they both have their own split places. And they have no intention of changing that dynamic. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. If that would be a cool idea, right?
Yeah.
But
it's whatever works, right? Whatever works for a couple. Like, I wouldn't want that. I do want to have someone in my space. I mean, have a shared space. Not right away, of course, but I did have that feeling before when I didn't really want anybody in my space. And now I'm kind of past that piece or that stage. But it's not going to happen overnight, right? Like, it's not going to be, we're going to have 3 dates and then all of a sudden you're moving in.
Right.
Because that did happen. I did have that happen before. Not 3 dates. It was 3 months, but it was a mistake. From the moment he came with the truck, I was like, oh no, this isn't going to work. And I tried, and it was a year and a half, and it didn't work. And I threw him out. But it was my fault. It was not his fault. It was my fault that went wrong, because I knew it was wrong from the beginning. And I just wanted not the status, but I wanted the thing. I wanted to be in that relationship.
It's being in love with the idea of being in love,
Yeah, that's what it was.
And, we romanticize the relationship, not because of the relationship, but because of what we want it to be. And, I get that. But you have come to a point where you appreciate your own space at the same time. It's nice to have your own space, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Kellen? Did you reach that point where it's like, I don't need somebody in my, now I might want somebody in my space, but I don't need somebody in my space, right?
Yes, but my end goal is to have somebody in my space, because I purposely bought a huge house so that there would be room for. I had a relationship where his house was his house and nothing in there was mine. And I swore I would never do that to anybody. So I've got plenty of room for someone to, once I find that person. But I want to bring up a point. When the person is not comfortable being alone, they will tend to, they'll put up with a bad relationship, because the bad relationship to them is better than being alone. So if you're comfortable and you're confident in yourself and being alone, and if that person is just as healthy, then it has a way better chance of working, because you both you're choosing each other. You're not simply an option or putting up with something horrible just because, oh my God, this is better than being lonely. But I love my space now. So I, for 11 years, lived out of, all my stuff was in storage. When I moved here 2 years ago, it was freaking Christmas. I got my china out. I've got every space. My ex would never let us hang pictures on our walls because the houses were always for sale, because he was a contractor. I have pictures all over. Yes, I love my space.
That's cool. And you made an interesting point that sometimes we stay in things because we're so afraid of being alone.
Right.
So that maybe it's not about, I never want anybody in my space, but the idea of, I'm so happy with the fact that I'm not afraid of being alone anymore. I'm not afraid of that.
Right.
I don't want to stay alone forever, certainly, but it's nice not to be afraid of that. Right, Therese? I mean, it's, because I think that kept me in bad relationships before. with me and you, I mean, there was a lot of other things holding us together in our friendship.
Yeah.
But with other relationships, I stayed in relationships way too long because I was so afraid of being alone. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with being alone, and I really don't want anyone in my space. I'm really still at that point. I really don't. I can't see the day when I would say, "Oh yeah, let's cohabitate." No, I don't see myself coming to that at this point.
She took all the romance right out of it. Cohabitate. Let's not cohabitate.
Thank you. I'm gonna go cry.
No cohabitate, no procreate, none of that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right, let me ask you another thing. Let's say we're in a relationship, a good one, a healthy relationship, and the guy wants to do the right thing, but most of the time we're lost. We don't know what the right thing is. I made mistakes. I always, I didn't realize, and Therese pointed out, like on Valentine's Day, I'd say things like, you know what? It's really so busy to go out on Valentine's Day. We'll go out another day and do it instead. And I always thought that was being practical. What that really was, and I'm apologizing now, is I was saying, you're not important. You're not important enough for me to go out of my way to make it to go to dinner on that night.
Yep.
And that was my fault. I feel like Bruno Mars. I should have brought you flowers, and I should have. Because I think about all these things, and I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? But there's one thing I never understood. When you walk into a room and your lady, lovely ladies, you ask them, how are you? And they say, fine. Not, I'm fine. They say, fine. Now, they're upset. Now, we're stuck. We're stuck in that kind of that Twilight Zone moment of, do I go over because I know something's wrong? Do I poke at her till she tells me? Do I go over and sit quietly next to her and try not to breathe or do anything that would annoy her? Or is that my cue to grab the guys and go out bowling and just give her space and go have a good time by myself? What is the guy supposed to do? Because we've all done, you've all done it. I've done it. So what's wrong? I'm fine. Do you want somebody to do what during that time, Therese?
Listen, that's all.
But what if you're not talking? I mean, if you're talking, yes, I will tell you that. Guys, if they're talking, listen to every fucking word because you don't know which one's going to come back and bite you in the ass later.
Well, they're not asking for you to fix anything either. So say I'm coming in from work and I had a bad day at work and I just want to kind of decompress. Like having you just sit there and let it come out organically and then just listen. Just let me vent. Let me work through it. In a few minutes, I'll be fine. Really fine, not fine. But also, I think men have a tendency to try to fix the problem. Well, you should do this. You should do that. You should have said this. And that's really not what we're looking for.
Okay. I do understand. Guys have a tendency to either, I want to be the hero, I want to fix it, I want to give you the answer. And sometimes, even if you have the answer, shut up and just listen. And a hug or something, right? I mean, Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Mary Kay, pick up on that. The guy walks in and he knows you're not fine, but you're not quite opening up yet. What is he supposed to do?
Ask me what you want me to do. Like ask me so that I can say, you know what, I just need my space, or I need a hug, or I've got this problem. I just want you to listen. I don't want you to fix it. Like it's a communication thing. So just if you don't know, ask. If you don't know me well enough, then just ask me a question.
All right. Ask. Just stand your ground and really, I'd like to listen to you, right? And be genuine about it, right? Be genuine.
Be genuine. Ask, listen to my answer. Now, if I say I just need my space, then leave. Don't be standing in front of me like sniveling or whatever because I'm not paying attention to you.
Yo, Ted, she's pissed and cut me loose. Let's go, buddy. Kellen, how about you?
I don't know. You said if it's a healthy relationship, then
healthy.
I know. We're all gonna pretend we've had one.
I know. Like that's new territory for me. I think there are a couple of things going on here. If it's to the point where you're so mad that, like, I'm so mad that I can't even talk, and I'm just like, it's fine. I think it might be safest to go just leave for a little bit, because now that I don't hold it in for 18 years, it's like, and I think that if the person, if they know me, I think they'll be able to gauge it, and the hug,
Yeah.
give her a hug. If she needs her space, she'll say, I'm going to leave you alone. And if you don't want me to leave you alone, let me know now and I will stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just communicate.
That's a good statement. That's a good statement, because not everybody's always ready to word vomit what's going on. They're not ready to talk about it. So sometimes,
like,
so
do you
that's
need
good,
me just
guys.
to hold you? Do you need me to make you a bologna sandwich? Do you?
Yeah.
I think you know what?
If Kellen looks like she's going to blow, duck, cover, run, and serpentine. Okay. Side to side.
Come back with a sandwich.
My problem is I would come home and Therese would get out earlier than me in a lot of days, and I'd come home and she'd be watching Snapped on Investigation Discovery about how women kill their husbands. And I'd be like, I'm afraid to ask her what her mood is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if I'm watching Snapped, run.
Yeah.
It got bad when I caught her taking notes. That's when I really
Or sharpening the butcher knife. I'm just sharpening the blade, honey.
Done.
Honey, where do we keep the antifreeze? Where is that? It's because I've got Snapple here, but I just don't have.
What's that oleander for?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dang. I think, you know what we could have? I think somebody should invent some kind of little stickies or something. Different colors mean different things. So if you see me wearing this pink one, run.
Run.
If you see me wearing a blue one, it means I need a hug. I don't know. I'm just
okay.
It
Basically,
could be fun, like mood stickers.
We need mood rings. Everybody wears a mood ring.
There you go.
You give your partner a pump, and as you're giving them a pump, if you notice that mood ring is black, run.
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 And if it's blue and they're romantic, then go brush your teeth or whatever it is. You got to know what to do. At the end of the day, it really is probably all about communication, and it's a two-way street, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say guys are worse at communication, because I think women are just as reserved, and they're just as likely to hold back as well. So I think it's a two-way street with communication. But what you really want from guys, I'm going to assume, from what I'm hearing today, it's got to simply be honesty and sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to agree with them, but they have to be honest and sincere. Am I getting this wrong, or is there more to it, Therese?
No, that's pretty much it. Just be honest, be sincere. That's it. Be yourself.
Be yourself. You don't want somebody to come in and act like the perfect man, do you?
Right.
No, please not.
Mm-mm.
And we should not do the same.
Or the perfect, or the nice guy.
There's a honeymoon period. No, there's no honeymoon period. You're you, I'm me. This is the way it is. And we have 2 weeks. You don't like it, leave.
Kelly's right at it. She's got you signing a contract before your first day.
They have to go through my list.
You in a lie. Get the fuck out, Tad.
They have to pass a grammar test. No, just kidding. I did that to my daughter's boyfriends, though. I made this.
That's so funny.
Now, wait a minute. You have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You have a son. And you have several daughters. Now, how many of the lessons do you learn are you trying to impart on your kids so they don't make the same mistakes?
All of them.
Oh my gosh. I try.
All of them.
I try.
I have an analogy that I gave my daughter on relationships. It's really, I'm so proud of myself for this. She was like, trying to have a boyfriend, and, she's playing basketball. I said, you don't have time for a boyfriend. And I said, here's the deal. You are a cupcake. You have all these wonderful ingredients. You have your spirituality, your physical health, your emotional health, your school, all these important things, your basketball, and that is whole, and you don't need anything else. But you can stand alone as a cupcake. Now your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, that is the frosting on top. He is merely there to enhance all the great qualities that you have that can stand alone. So you don't need a boyfriend, because that's the one day she made this comment, I need a boyfriend. And I'm like, oh no. And then this whole cupcake analogy came into my head. I said, you're the cupcake. You don't need frosting, but frosting makes it nicer.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks.
That is good. That is good. I mean, because it'd be nice to teach our kids that, the first and the most important relationship you need to have is yours with you.
Yeah.
Before you could have it with somebody else. I think we look for ourselves in other people, and right. Some people grow out of that quickly, and some people live with that the rest of their lives, looking for themselves in the relationship instead of finding themselves and bringing it to a relationship. Yeah. And so if guys out there, I mean, I don't know if any of this helped today. I'm more confused than ever, which is, not a surprise. But I will tell you this. That go in, and if you're not comfortable with who you are, you will not be comfortable with another human being. If you lie about your height, you got a problem. That's your problem.
You're gonna be found out very quickly.
You're gonna be caught. Any lie you tell, and here's the most horrible thing. You meet somebody, you lie to them, and then you find out you really care about them. And then you've got to always have that in the back of your head. There's a lie already floating out there. And chances are you've already told 12 other lies to compound the first lie. Just don't do that. If you're not comfortable with who you are, maybe you shouldn't be out looking for somebody else. Maybe you should be looking in the mirror. Each of you, 3 qualities that you find that you'd really like in a partner, or and I say partner, it could be a husband, could be a boyfriend, could be a dating person. 3 qualities that you find to be really, really important that you would like somebody you meet to have. Therese?
3?
Yes.
Honesty, communication skills, and a sense of humor. Gotta have a sense of humor.
Awesome. Yeah. Don't come at her with lame knock jokes. She's much. You got to get her with more than that. I'll tell you what. Teresa's one of those people that laughs and she lights up a room. So you want to hear her laugh. Trust me. So be that guy. Mary Kay, how about you? 3 qualities.
Well, going back to my great thoughts.
Wait. Before you start. Kellen, you're writing like crazy. Only 3, remember? Okay, go ahead.
I'm up to 26. I do this all the time. I'm always writing.
It's always writing.
Go ahead, Mary Kay. 3.
So self-awareness, optimism, and compassion would be top 3, and no exceptions. Right? If someone doesn't have all 3,
you don't hear that a lot. Optimism, how important that is. But when you're with somebody who's optimistic, that's a great thing to be around. Being around somebody who's negative, that's a drain.
It's very draining, yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. Kellen.
Kellen.
Right.
Use the right name. That's another one.
Don't mess with their name.
Number 1, they have to know my name.
Yeah.
Exactly. Honesty is big with me. I mean, that was the downfall of my marriage, was the lack of honesty. I love a sense of humor. And then spontaneity. I want them to be able to just go do something and go take an adventure, or, try something new. So that's my 3.
Well, you put those together, and, certainly honesty seems to be a going thread. Humor, communication, optimism, and in adventure spirit, spontaneity and stuff. Guys, you can't be those things and fake it. You're either going to be those things or you're not going to be those things. If you're not those things, learn how to do that. I taught my son a long time ago, there's 3 things you can do, and you're always going to be able to date somebody. You're always going to find a date. Is 1, you got to learn how to, take care of yourself, like clean a house, do your laundry, and do that kind of stuff. 2, learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. And it's just really important. And 3, don't be afraid to slow dance whenever you have a chance. Okay. Now, sometimes I forget some of my own advice. And would you stop? I'm so jealous. You got to find
I just
out.
love that when you
I'm
said
jealous.
dance, slow dance. I just love that.
I know.
Not working. Still not
for any
working.
of us.
We got to figure that out. Look at that. I love it.
Thing on there.
I think it's because I'm magical.
Magic. I was just going to say that. Magic. Kellen
It
is
is
magic.
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 I got nothing. All right. Well, listen. I don't know if we solved any world problems.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
thank people for joining in, and Debbie and Sandy, and of course, what the frick? There we go. I'm sorry, I screwed up my screen. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Therese, as always, is so much fun. A shout out, to Therese and her recent loss of her dog. We want to make sure that we say that. And Coco was a great puppy. Coco was a great, not a puppy. Coco was old. Coco in people years, Coco was like 117 years old. Okay, but
I did always call her puppy though.
Yeah, you did.
Aww.
You did, and I call Coco Kachubi, and many other words.
Many other words.
Many other words.
Pain in the ass.
But everybody here recognizes that how tough it is to lose a pet. So God bless.
Thank you.
I'm sending you puppy love.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Now she's just showing off.
I don't even know how to turn it on.
It's like doing a freaking show with Hermione from Harry Potter. Oh, look what I can do.
Just because you're jealous, you don't have to be harsh.
I'm sorry. It's just the way things are. All right. As always, Therese, love you. This is a great show. I can't wait. We're going to get together and do it again. We'll be back in about 2 weeks. And we're going to check out the crime scene. We're going to check out some other stuff. We'll see what's going on for our next show.
Awesome.
Mary Kay, as always, pleasure. Love seeing you. Tomorrow night we're on at 7 o'clock. Come in and join us. Ladies, if you'd like to come in and continue this conversation, we can even do that.
Part two.
Yeah.
Part two.
I would get a bunch of guys on here for you guys to ask questions too, but that we wouldn't understand, and it would just give a lot of grunting and weird noises. We're just not going to do it. Kellen, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your energy, your hearts, and your love. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. It was fun, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks everybody for joining us. For Scott, Therese, Mary Kay, and Kellen Ann, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time right here on the Exes podcast.